All right, my beautiful friends, here we go. It's another week for you and I in the Freak Show. Monday, August 21st, 2023. Pre-market report. Let's talk. We are in what may be the early stages of a major problem, not just for the stock market. I'm talking about the global economy. We already understand, you and I, that this thing is coming apart fast. Yesterday, in my Markets a Look Ahead video, I explained, I believe, pretty clearly how we have two converging forces. A global economy that is cratering at its fastest pace in history. Global debt continuing to balloon out of control. A populace that is getting strangled to death. On the other side, we got a market here, a global debt market, which is selling off very rapidly. Risk in this market is, well, frankly, getting out of control. These two forces are converging together right now. We need to see where this is going to go. I can tell you this right now. Okay, are you ready? The global economy has got nowhere to go but much worse. And this is being pushed deliberately by central banks. Central banks are on a mission right now to drive the global economy through the ground, not into the ground, through the ground. Again, the global economy in free fall. What are central banks doing here? Raising rates, raising rates, raising rates. Why are they raising rates? To crush the economy, to kill the consumer. It has nothing to do, zero, yet again, with doing anything about inflation. Central banks will continue to inflate beyond anyone's wildest dreams because that's where their power resides. You all know this. So if we understand, you and me, okay, that the global economy is going to get much, much worse, and not only is it going to get much, much worse, what are we hearing about? Are you turning on Bloomberg, CNBC, Fox Business? Again, shortages, supply chain disruptions. This is where we're going. They're letting you, they always do this. They always let you know what's going to happen. So start paying attention to this. You and I spoke about this months ago. Another crisis is going to be forced upon us, and another one, and another one, and another one after that. A big one, and again, this is a massive, major way to control the population, starve them. Okay, so we are going to see, without beyond any doubt, because they're letting us know it's going to happen, supply chain disruptions, food shortages, resource issues. It's all here. Okay, all the stuff you and I have spoken about. I mean, honestly, before anybody else, this is the truth. So they're letting us know what they're going to do. Be ready for it. I'm telling you, have a stash of stuff laying around. Check out Alaska Prepper. I've told you about this guy for a very long time. You got to start paying attention to this stuff. It's super important. Don't get complacent here and think everything's just going to be fine and lovely, because I can promise you it's not. They are not done destroying the world economy, crushing the consumer. You know what else? This is what we found out today. Are you ready? Loan defaults continue to rise. Home foreclosures, car repossessions, credit card defaults. All the stuff that you and I have expected would happen is getting much, much worse. People, they are in the middle of creating, again, a new two-tier society, a neo-feudal system. I've been telling you this for 10 freaking years, okay? It's getting much, much worse. Homelessness is exploding around the world. Dependency on the system, slaves to the system, all the stuff we have outlined over and over and over again. It's just in our freaking face here, and it's going to get a lot worse. So again, be mindful. If you take one thing away from this particular video, all right, it's that you must prepare for yet another crisis, and another one followed by another one, and another one followed by another one. But food shortages, resource problems are going to be forced upon you, and they're going to blame it on whatever they want to blame it on, whether it's climate change or some other disease process, whatever they're going to do. Believe me, it's going to happen. So get yourselves in the right spot and do it now. Let's talk about commodities before I go over to this market. Crude oil. You and I have been watching crude oil since it hit $67 a barrel. We watched a major rebound over 84. You and I, right here on this blog, said we would likely see a drop when we hit 84. around 77, 78. That's exactly where we bounced off of. Okay, crude oil's on the march higher. Right now we are over $82 a barrel. I would not be surprised. Let me throw this out here to my crude bulls out here. I'm a major bull with commodities. You all know that. I would not be surprised to see a retest of the recent low, 77, 78. If that holds, if we see a 77, 78 hold with crude oil, bam! I mean, we are going much, much higher, 90, more than that. So I just want to throw this out here. Okay, let's look at a couple of other things that are going on. Right now, stock futures are higher by triple digits. We have had a market that has finally dropped, finally had a pullback here. Now, if you recall, last week I said, title of my video, the market just flashed a sell signal. We fell pretty far since that point. I'm not saying we're done here. Okay, I am not saying we're done, because risk in this market, people, let me put another perspective on this for you, okay? The bond market is selling off right now. It's selling off globally, all right? This is not just a phenomenon here in the United States. This is clearly putting pressure on equity markets or stock markets around the world. Is this going to change? There's three ways this can change. Three, okay? Central banks get in here, they start buying more debt, none more so than the Federal Reserve. That's number one. Number two, the dollar on a relative strength basis weakens, okay? Number three, the Fed gets in here and starts buying large cap stocks. They prop up the market. That's what they do. If, in fact, we continue to see the global bond market sell off, forget about it. We don't know, you, me, nobody. We can guess where the bottom is here in the market. But again, this is, again, where no man or no woman has gone before. What we do know, all right, it's always about what we know. What you and I know for a fact is quantitative easing 1 started at Dow 6,000, okay? So there's a potential bottom for this market. Dow 6,000. Think of what this would be the most incredible stock market crash that the world has ever seen, but it's all dependent on the debt market, the driver of this market, the debt market, for which there's a big problem right now. We're selling off. You got the MMRI over 275, the Mannarino market risk indicator, which has been spot dead on. Free for you, free for me, free for anyone who wants to look at this thing. Link in the description of this video. We are now in a very high risk environment. Now, risk in this market, there's always risk in this market. Always, okay? Even at low MMRI numbers, there's risk in the market. That's how it works. But you would expect that when risk is where we are now, where we have a global bond market sell-off, putting pressure on the markets, we could potentially, it wouldn't take much to cause this market to fall very hard and very fast. In my view, if we continue to see MMRI 280, 290, 300. 300 is extreme risk, okay? You all know that. Go check out the MMRI. It's all color-coded. There are numbers there. Again, this is free. So why you wouldn't utilize this resource, I have no idea, so I hope you do. Anyway, so as I said, stock futures are higher right now across the board. Will the market be able to hold these gains? Is this a dead cat bounce? Because I can tell you this, if the bond market continues to sell off and the Fed does not take action, either buying more debt, weakening the dollar, or buying the market, who knows where the bottom is? That sell signal that the market just flashed was very simple to see. This was the price action of the S&P 500 crossing below the 50-day moving average. We could go below the 100-day moving average or the 200-day moving. We don't know where this is going to go. We're going to see, but it's all dependent on the debt market. Nobody knows this better than you. All right, so we got the crude oil story today. Let's see where this happens. Again, watch for a potential retest and then, bam, a much higher. I'm not saying we're definitely going to get a retest here. So I'm saying it's potentially. I'm just looking at some charts this morning. It's very likely, okay? But we could go higher from here straight up. We'll see. Energy, look, I did a whole paper. I wrote a paper for all of you, and I sent it out in my newsletter just yesterday, describing to you the current situation here, what's going on. I called this, what we are in is an extinction level event, a middle class extinction level event being fostered by central banks, none more so than public enemy number freaking one. Public enemy number freaking one is the Federal Reserve. They're on a mission to destroy the world, destroy the central banks want and will fulfill their destiny. They believe that they are destined, and they're fulfilling it, to become the lenders and buyers of last resort, to own it all. Okay, this is why you're seeing debts and deficits balloon out of control, something you and I have spoken about for forever now. This is not going to stop. You have our so-called representatives here in the United States and around the world making certain they continue to cause central banks to pull cash or push cash into the now to continue to inflate, because that's where central bank's power resides. You know that. And where people are sitting here, rearranging the deck chairs on the freaking Titanic and allowing this to happen. And I don't care who they choose to put behind the Resolute desk. It's not going to stop. Do you believe if they put whoever they want behind the Resolute desk, let's say they put Donald Trump behind the Resolute desk, and do you think debts and deficits are going to stop? The spending is miraculously going to stop? Really, honestly, no. It's going to get much, much worse. You can count on it, okay? Weaker dollar, negative rates, more cash pulled into the now. That's how it's going to work. Okay, so don't be putting all your eggs in any one basket. Think this is all going to change for you anytime soon, because it ain't. I don't care who they put behind the Resolute desk. I've been telling you forever, they could put a farm animal there. It wouldn't make any difference. You understand? Maybe you think it does, and maybe you've been led to believe by who knows who that it's going to make a difference. It ain't going to matter, okay? It's the central banks who are the government. Once you realize that, the world government, we're going to all be better off. So, couple of takeaways from this video. Food shortages, resource shortages are coming, period. And I'm talking about on the grand scale. Forget about the meltdown, which is eventually going to occur, which we may be in the early stages of with regard to the debt market. We are going to see a resource issue that's the greatest threat to humankind, loss of life on a biblical scale. That is going to happen. But before that happens, they're letting you know about it, all right? They always do this. Tell me I'm wrong. How many of you are that in tune to the situation? You know what I'm talking about here. They always let you know what they're going to do before they do it. And that's where we're going. You know that. Anyway, gold and silver this morning are catching a bid. Cryptocurrencies falling again. I think this is a buying opportunity, people. I know a lot of you are going to disagree with me, and that's fine. The crypto space is certainly not for everyone. With regard to gold and silver, my favorite asset of all time, every single time they hit it, I think that's a buying opportunity. Again, it's how cash moves through the markets, okay? Debt markets sell off, stock markets sell off. Eventually, all this extra cash is going to move into commodities because these are real things. You understand? It's interesting to see how markets work, and if you follow this long enough, it's so evident how cash moves through the market. Anyway, we've covered this before. I'm going to let you all go. People, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. It's just so important. We got each other's backs. I don't care what they do, but be prepared for anything. Be prepared for shortages, resource problems, a market which could potentially, the Dow, which could drop to 6,000 or below at one particular time, depending on where risk goes. We're in the middle of a global debt market sell-off. What is central banks going to do about it? Are they about to let this thing melt down? Because that's the driver. Or are they going to get in here and start taking action? I want to hear from you. What's your take? Are central banks about to let this thing melt down? Or are central banks going to take action here? Okay, that's question number one. Question number two, are you ready for the shortages that they're telling us are coming? I hope you are. Please, if you got anything out of this video, share it. Those thumbs up are extremely valuable. I count on you for that. Those thumbs up allow the algorithm to say, hey, people like this video, we're going to show it. So it's up to you whether people get to see and hear this stuff. I personally believe this is critical information, honestly, that people need to hear about. All right, with that said, I will see all of you live, 4:05 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Please have some questions ready for me. We're going to cover it all. Like I said, we can't lose, all right? We can't lose if we stay aware of what's happening and we take care of each other. That's it. All right. Love you a lot. See you later.